Welcome to the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove, where the fence world gets real, raw, and unfiltered. Billy's not just an industry leader, he's a hands-on pro who knows what it takes to build quality fences and strong teams. So grab a cold one, settle in, and get ready for straight talk about the trade. Today's show is brought to you by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, J.C. Gurry Signs and Decals, and Orlando Hinge Company. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fabulous Tuesday evening? I hope everybody's had a wonderful week since we last spoke. It is finally cooling off here in Florida, and last week was pretty cool, man. I got to do my first ever real farm fence install with driven round wood post and high tensile wire. That shit was pretty cool. So check that one in the books. I'm no pro by no means. I mean, a whole lot more practice, but cool to get that up under the belt so that I at least know what is going on for the most part. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, guys. We got Mr. Mark Olsen on from SWI Fence and from his YouTube channel as well. If you don't know him, you're going to get to know him. But first and foremost, guys, we got to hit the sponsors who make this show possible day in, day out, week in, week out. First and foremost, we got Mr. Fence Academy, guys. If you're in the market for leveling up your business with coaching, whether it be the business side or the installation side, go check out www.mrfenceacademy.com. If you're still in the market for like privacy slats, I still see this question asked on a lot of the fence groups, even weekly. Go check out National Metal. Ooh, man, I'm completely skipping over that word. National Metal Industries. I don't know why it was so hard. At www.nmifence.com. Go check it out. They have more than just privacy slats. They got chain link material, vinyl material, ornamental iron, aluminum, plus fence tools. Go give it a nice look and tell Mr. Mike Levy I said what is going on. If you are still looking for a fence sign, like as well, number 2 asked question on the fence groups, guys. Go check out JC Gurry at www.jcgurry.com. All these fence signs come with a Mylar lamination. Make your fence sign look great even 10 years down the road. And last but not least, guys, if you're still struggling with your clients wanting a double drive and one of the leaves has to swing uphill and you don't want to make some ugly cut or have some giant gap up under it, go check out the Swan Hinge, man. Real world product, actually really truly works. I've used a handful of them. Going to use another one in a couple weeks, but go check them out at www.swanhinge.com. And with that said, we do have Mr. Mark Olsen on, so let's go ahead and get him on the screen.
Okay, hang on. Oh my gosh. I have a problem. My AirPods just died somehow. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So give me just a second to figure this out because it just happened.
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, give me just a second. I'll get it figured out.
All right. Go ahead. So if anybody follows me on Facebook, guys,
there we go.
There we go.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Like I was
just having this connection.
They
just freaking died, and yeah. So I guess we'll be doing this without AirPods.
It's all right. About once every 5 or 6 shows, I like halfway plug in the Rodecaster and the cord falls out mid show, and I lose my audio. So I understand. Man,
I'm glad you're not perfect either.
Yeah, no, not at all, man. But how you been recently, man?
Busy. It's been a busy summer. Not
Good.
Kind of in the typical way, but a busy summer.
Good. So for our viewers and listeners who don't know you, you want to give us a brief who you are, where you out of, what you do, blase.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Mark Olsen. I'm with SWI, and we're out of Wyoming. So I live in Powell, Wyoming, and we basically service the whole state of Wyoming, and that's basically where I've been since 1994, doing fences.
Right.
For a brief period of time between 2021 and 2024, we lived in Florida, St. Augustine, and we started another branch down there, and kind of documented that startup and the frustrations and kind of all the pains of doing that on YouTube on a channel, and then on our other channel associated with our fence company, we have how-tos, how to demonstrate tool usage, introduce new tools, and some tools that maybe some people don't know about to the market, and just show techniques and how-tos and walk them step by step on how to build fence.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you are in the field and stuck, I have looked up videos numerous times, mostly on bias cutting for chain link. It seems like every single time I have to do it, I'm like, man, how did I do that again 5 months ago?
Yep. We got really good at bias cutting, and I mean, credit where credit's due. I learned bias cutting from Virgil Thomas with Stilllock Fence out of Denver, Colorado, and and just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
That was for the AFA. It used to be called Field Training School then. It was quite a deal, quite a bit different than it is today.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we're going to get into that here shortly. But like one of the things that I kind of want to know before we dive into some real shit, what was that like? Where did you get the want and like not the willpower, but like the drive for the whole YouTube channel?
Well, really, I'd probably have to go back to 2009. I just got really involved in YouTube and started following people like Philip DeFranco. And I was like, man, this just seems really cool and it seems really creative and I want to do it. And I even did a couple videos. And if you look really hard on YouTube, you can find some of my very first videos from probably about 15 years ago when Cade was super, super little. We might not even have had Connor at the point in time. I did one where we pretended to put our son in the dishwasher. And that's out there on a completely different channel. You're going to have to really do your homework to figure that out. But if you're smart enough, you can. We keep it out there because it's kind of like a family legacy. And I just got super excited about it. But the problem was that I didn't know how to edit.
Right.
And I edited those videos and it frustrated me. And I was like, man, this just isn't my thing. But I really liked it. I wanted to do it then. If I'd had somebody that said, man, I can edit if you can just come up with creative content, I would have done it then. And so that kind of started my passion. And then, 2018 rolled around and we're like looking at the landscape. And I'm just like, I spend so much time on YouTube and I'm spending more and more time on YouTube. And, you can get so much back in the day, when they had radio series, you could get a lot off the radio, but then they added video to the radio and they made that TV and that was so much more impactful. And I'm like, you can get so much more message out there. And you can tell any message that you want, and you can tell it in any way you want, and create your own, your own movie, if you will. And that just seemed like a lot of fun. So in 2018, I resurrected that, just feeling like that's kind of where advertising is going. And I mean, I was right. I just bet that that's where it was going, and it is. And it's definitely not trending away from that because of the look at Instagram; it's all reels. Facebook's all reels. If you're not posting video, like, what are you doing? Nobody's looking at your post. They want to see interesting content with video and you explaining things, because remember, a picture's worth 1,000 words. How many words is a video worth?
Probably a whole lot more than 1,000.
We just made the dive, and like I said, I gambled and I was right. It was not a gamble that everybody would have taken. In fact, I remember what I did. My brother and I are partners, my younger brother, Alan, and I'm the majority owner. And so I just was like, on this one, I just know Alan's going to fight me tooth and nail. So I just put a job posting out and said, I want an editor, because I knew from my prior experience that I was, and I was doing some editing a little bit at this point in time. I was like, I still hate it. Technology's come a long ways, but I still hate this. I don't want to learn it. I want somebody to shoot it so we get all the right POVs. And so I put an ad out. And then after I put the ad out, I was like, oh, yeah, by the way, I put an ad online. We're going to hire a video editor. And he's like, huh, okay. And I mean, I could tell it was very unenthusiastic. It was not something he was excited about. But he's like, I mean, this is the way the agreement works. So here we go. And it's one of the very few things that I've done that's worked out, because I've done so many things that haven't.
Right. Right.
So,
And so that brings me to my next question. Working with family, like we all can say it's great and everything, but in the real world, like we know it's pretty tough. What's that like, not just working with, but being a partner in a business with a family member?
it's challenging. You really have to define and set boundaries, I think, is the most important thing. Everybody's got to know their role. And one of the things we learned early on is that, especially a family, this whole notion that if two of you start something up, that it needs to be 50-50 is just a terrible idea. It's never worked. It didn't work in my first business when I went bankrupt with my other brother, and it wasn't going to work here either. Somebody always needs to be in control. You can't have a two-headed snake.
Right.
And that's good and bad. I mean, I take all the credit when the credit's due. Well, I mean, I don't say that. People tend to give the leader the credit, not because it's anything I've done. It's the team that does it. But when you screw up, boy, you really feel it. You're the one that made the decision. You're the one that made the call. And sometimes we make difficult calls with not enough information, or information that seems valid at the time that we later learn is not valid. Very true
on that one. Speaking of like bankruptcy, you've talked about it a lot on your YouTube channel. I've watched a lot of your like content. For those who haven't, like, kind of give a insight on going through bankruptcy as a fence company owner.
So it wasn't amazing. I can tell you it wasn't amazing.
Right.
We did the best we could, and what precipitated this was, it was really all started, if I look back far enough, I would say that it all started in the way we began our business, and just not having enough experience, not knowing how to run a business, not knowing the financial side of the business, just shooting from the hip all the time.
Right.
I still shoot from the hip a lot. I can tell you all sorts of stories about that. But just being young. I mean, I was 25 years old when we really started our first fence company. I started fencing at 16, and then kind of did a few other things in between, and went full time, 9 years later after I moved back to Wyoming.
Right.
But through that entire period of time, I was building fence.
It's a long time.
I was good at the trade and terrible at the business. And I'm still, honestly, I got to say, I'm not great at the trade anymore. I'm not as great as I was. I'm pushing 50 years old now, and I'm learning that I just don't have a passion to do that anymore. I don't want to go out. I don't have the energy and the drive. What I really get excited about now is the building other people up, and building the business part, watching people succeed.
Yeah.
But not knowing any of that, is making bad hires and not, working for the wrong customers. It was everything. It was literally every mistake you can make along the way, not to mention mismanaging money and commingling funds and doing all the things that you shouldn't do in the business.
Right.
And none of those are somebody else's problem. They're all my problem, and they're all my fault.
I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of leads me to my next question. How do you feel about all of the coaches in the fence industry right now? Do you feel like it's helping, hurting?
Well, you're just going to get right in there, aren't you? How do I feel about all the coaches? So I've actually said some stuff about coaches in the past. If you go back to some of our earlier videos, there's actually information in there about coaches. And I'll be very honest with you. When I made that video, I was thinking of Sean King.
Right.
I'll be very honest with the entire audience. I was thinking of Sean King, and I probably judged that person just a little too harshly out of the gate, and have since. And honestly, I'm like everybody else. I'm subject to influence and other people's opinions.
Absolutely.
And seeds were planted, and I took a really negative view of Sean, but like I said, I made that video about him, and today I would not do that again. I wouldn't do that again. Sean is one of the most sincere, genuine people that I know, and I've only been shown kindness and generosity through him.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things I said in that video is about coaches and consultants and things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lump everybody. We'll just go ahead and name all the players. The Tony Thorntons, the Purple Coaches, the Mr. Fence Academy, the .coms, the Clever Fox, who's the new one? There's another one out there, Cannon Johnson.
Brand builders.
Okay, brand builders, all those people. The risk when you do all of that stuff, and I'm not going to speak about any one of those things, is that the assumption is made that you're putting things on autopilot. Those things cost a lot of money. We use .com, and we've used a lot of these services. And in the beginning, they do a lot of work, and I understand that. And we pay a good penny for all this stuff. But when you start having the presumption that they're just putting things on autopilot and you're not getting really genuine work every month, like it's really easy to do that with marketing too, because you start seeing reports and it's month after month and it's month after, and you're like, what are you really genuinely doing? Because the business is the same. And if the SEO is good, how much is it changing? And when you start perceiving that I've been paying $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month and my leads aren't going up, the quality is not going up, and I've been paying this since the very beginning, and I had kind of the same general business in the beginning, we start thinking that these people are putting us on autopilot. I'm not saying any of these people are doing that, but if we feel like we're getting put on autopilot, we're not going to feel like we're getting the value. And there's definitely times when I felt like that. I felt like that with Fence marketing team where they were charging me, and I felt like that recently with some other people that are doing marketing and stuff. And to be honest with you, if these guys are being honest with themselves, they are putting us on autopilot. The problem is that they're charging us the same throughout. And when they start putting us autopilot, they should reduce the fees and start lowering our costs.
True.
The other problem with any of these coaches and stuff is, are you paying, I was going to use that. Okay. I can't even use that in this case. But are you paying a bunch of money every month, and are you getting real genuine services and real genuine value out of this? Or are you just being fluffed up and given a yellow ribbon? I can't use the color purple for obvious reasons. Normally everybody knows that everybody just gets this purple ribbon.
Right.
And in this case, that's a very bad example. But what I'm saying is that are you just being fluffed up, or is there real substance there? Can you tie this to genuine bottom line improvements?
True.
And that's what I would say to all these people. If you're going to, I think I said this back then, this is if you're going to hire a coach, or, talk to the people that are there first, figure out what you're going to, know all these things first, know all the details of what you're getting into and what your obligations are. And if the obligations aren't clear, ask for them. And what are they promising to deliver you? If they're going to just charge you a bunch of money and there's nothing on their end, what we're all worried about when we get into this is the whole thing when we felt in high school is the teacher just teaching because they weren't good at doing. That's what we're all worried about.
Yeah.
They just wanted to pick our pocket, and they're like, I found a really good way to just pretend I was an expert. That's what we're worried about in college.
True.
Aren't we? Are you just going to pick my pocket? Do you really genuinely know the stuff that you're trying to purport you're going to teach me? One of the reasons that I have never ventured into the business education stuff and teaching people how to run the financial side of their business is because I don't feel like I've got my own house in order. And until I feel like I've got my own house in order and I've succeeded substantially at that, I don't feel qualified to talk about it. If you don't have serious ammo in your belt, sit down, shut up, and let the real professionals do it, because you've got to have the wins. If you're going to go in there and coach on anything, you better freaking back it up.
Whew. Man, you are speaking some truth right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's I agree with 1,000% with everything that you're saying.
You better have receipts. You better be able to say, here's my company and what I did with it. Here's XYZ company, and they'll back me up. Say, when we started, we were here and we ended up here. Like this has been going on long enough You should probably be looking for references. You know whose fault my pool was? My fault, because I didn't look for references. It was a really good TikTok deal, but at the end of the day, that freaking pool and all the stuff I went through was my fault because I was a contractor. I knew better, and I still effed that thing up.
Right. I mean, it did make for some good content, though. I will say that.
It did. And does that make it right for him to do that to me?
Not at all.
It doesn't. But
Not at all.
Whose fault at the end of the day was it? Because it was my job to do my due diligence and decide whether or not that person had the qualifications to do the thing that I was hiring him to do. What do we say as fence builders all the time? You hired a freaking crappy fence builder, and it's your fault because you didn't do your research.
Yep.
You did not do your research. You hired a crappy fence builder. If you don't like the coach you got and you don't feel that they gave you the value, guess what? You hired him. You did the research. It's on you. Accept some responsibility for what you do and freaking move on.
Very true.
And if you don't like the way something's going, make a change. If you feel like they're putting you on autopilot, hold their feet to the fire. So what the hell are you doing for me? You did the same thing last month. I'm paying XYZ for this, and what I see is 3 posts, and it cost me $3,000 or 15 posts. And what did you really do?
Right.
Because they're all over. They're all over. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, I've named some of the top ones in the industry, not picking on anybody, but saying they should be ready to answer those questions if they're going to be in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. Moving on to the next one that is tying into this coaching. How do you feel about the surge in the hands-on, no classroom trainings that have been going on? I'd say really viral for the last 2 years, but have been going on for longer than that.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
You want to go to a classroom?
Hell no.
Were any of us good in the classroom the first time we got the opportunity to do it for 12 years?
No, not at all.
Freak no.
Yeah.
No. What do we need classroom for? Show us real world, real life, applicable stuff we can use. And if you want to talk about that stuff, there's one freaking leader in the industry, and I'm going to say it's freaking Sean King. And I don't care. We can argue until we're blue in the face. You can argue with me. I don't care what you say. I said what I said. Sean King is the leader in like real life, real world job site training. Nobody beats him. Nobody. Not any freaking 1,500 person like association. Not FWA, not AFA. Nobody beats Sean King when it comes to training. Period. Hands on.
Yeah. Hands
on training. He's the freaking king, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Slaughter me in the comments.
I mean, once you go, your eyes are opened. So,
Did we not give a lot of that away for free, but everybody wants it all for free?
Yeah.
Are you guys not out there making money every day? Every single one of these coaches, consultants, and every single one of these people, every single one of you people watching the show, every single one of you wants to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what's wrong with that. Why is it okay for you to make money, but nobody else?
Right.
Hypocrite much?
I don't have all my sound effects up. I could have put on some crickets, but man, I'm in full agreeable like with you on that. Tell us one of the difference between one of your worst days in the fence industry and one of your best days in the fence industry.
Ooh, I wasn't ready for that question, but yeah, I'll give you the difference. So the best day in the fence industry. Okay, I gotta breathe deep. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. So the best day in the fence industry, I'm gonna go with the worst. That might be easier. That's not easier either. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on just a second. I'm gonna ask my wife what the worst day was. What's the worst day? She can't even remember which one it was. And the problem is it's not just one.
There's a lot.
You think the trailer in the ditch was bad? That was nothing.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine.
That's a tough question.
Probably the worst day in the fence industry for me was the day that I pulled off the job. It was about a $500,000 job, and we were only providing labor. So that's no material or anything. It was labor on the job doing that snow fence that bankrupt. It did not bankrupt us. We bankrupt ourselves, but it was the catalyst that that precipitated everything falling apart.
Right.
That was probably the worst, just because I knew that it meant the end.
Hmm.
I knew pulling off that job that it was over.
Right.
I knew we couldn't save it.
And that's
We're
not a good feeling to have, but
in such a bad financial spot going into it, and then that just knowing that was going to end in bankruptcy was probably the worst day.
Right.
So there's been some other ones that have been right up there, but that was like, this is definitely the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. We can't recover from this.
Right. And then how did you swallow that pill, not just in your business life, but also in your personal life?
We saw the writing on the wall, so it wasn't like a huge shock necessarily. We saw it. But it was just the realization that something that you had worked your entire life for was finally done.
Right.
As far as personal life, it changed my relationship with the brother that I was in business with for sure. Forever, probably.
No.
But the good news is, I put something out on my story the other day saying that I don't remember if it was in my wife's point of view or my point of view. It doesn't really matter because we had the same one. But the reality is that was one of those times when we got to realize that even when it felt like you were losing it all, you could wake up tomorrow and still have it all.
Right.
I mean, I had a mortgage with my it was a private mortgage at the time, and that's probably one of the only reasons I didn't lose my house. I had a private mortgage, and so I called him up, and I had to be like, okay, you're going to get some stuff in the mail, and it's not going to be good. You're not going to like it. We're declaring bankruptcy.
Right.
And he's, I was worried about it. I was like, man, this guy's going to freaking slaughter us. We would have had a mortgage for $400,000 or something like that, $390,000 with this guy. It's just a private individual. He owned a construction company, and I'd known him for a long time, and I had to call him up and say, you're going to get some stuff, and we're going to, we have to declare bankruptcy because our company is going under. I said, we're going to keep making the payments so we have a place to live. And the only thing he asked me if my relationship with my wife was all right. That's all he asked me.
And that's a stand-up gentleman, then. I'll tell you that much.
We never missed a payment. We didn't divorce. We've been through alcoholism. We've been through businesses failing. We've been through, infighting, through all the other stuff. And like I say, I could lose all tomorrow. I still have everything.
Absolutely, man. That's the end. That's the end goal for us all. So
it's the best day in business in my life, and I chose my lifelong business partner.
Here we go. There we go. Awesome.
April 1994. I mean, that's my best day in business. That was my business partner. And when you get married, you're signing up for a business partner, whether you realize it or not.
Very true. Very true. Especially in this world.
Partner sitting right here playing Fortnite, and apparently, But yeah, that's the best day, hands down.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So,
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break and then we'll be right back. All right.
that's a good time for it.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. Gurry Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. Gurry specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgurry.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgurry.com. Struggling with a gate that drags on your sloped yard? Orlando Hinge Company has the solution, the Swan Hinge. Unlike standard hinges, the Swan Hinge lets double drive gates swing open smoothly up inclines, eliminating dragging and binding. Easy to install on vinyl, aluminum, wood, and chain link gates. It's built for durability and made to withstand the elements. And when your customer hears that, yes, their gates can work on a slope, you just made the sale. The Swan Hinge, designed by fencers for fencers. Made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Order today at swanhinge.com or email info@orlandohingecompany.com. The Swan Hinge, because every gate deserves to open smoothly.
All right, we are back this time. Sorry, guys, I freaking double-clicked the next commercial, and my nice camera that follows me around was staring at the roof for some reason. All right, but just real quick for the sponsor that did not have a video, guys, if you're in the market for leveling up your fence business, whether it be the business side or the fence installation side, go check out Mr. Fence Academy at www.mrfenceacademy.com. All right. So, back.
We've all learned I'm a bitch. For anybody that's still here.
Not at all. Not at all, man. So we went over some tough stuff. Let's get into something that I'm curious on your opinion of. Do you think that you should have to have a fence license?
No.
Yeah. Can you elaborate just a little bit on why not?
Yeah, I would love to. I don't think licensing really helps anybody.
Yeah.
We've been in places that offer licenses, California being a prime example. It took us about a year to get our California fence contractor license. It was a painful process. It was an expensive process. And in the end, is it really helping anybody? No.
Right.
There's still going to be bad actors. It's like requiring everybody to have a permit to have a gun. Or, I mean, it's like anything else that they try and do. The only thing you're doing is ensuring that the bad actors are going to get the most protection. Prime example is in Wyoming, you have to have a low voltage license to do gate operators and stuff like that. Well, guess what? There's one fence company that has one. It's us. Do you think we're the only fence company that puts in gate operators? No, we're not. Okay. So then I call up the state and I'm like, so what are you doing about all the other people? Well, if we catch them in the act, we can stop them. They can just stop. And I'm like, okay, what do you do when they don't stop? Well, we can ask them to stop again. Like, so what do you do then? Well, we can keep asking them to stop. I said, so if you see me doing something wrong because I'm licensed, what can you do? I said, we can take away your license. I'm like, great. I can just be like all the other people, and I didn't have to take a test or anything, and I don't have to pay any money, and you can just ask me to stop nicely. Perfect.
Right.
There's no teeth in most of this stuff. I actually got a fine for not having a license in Nevada in 2009 or 2011. Can't remember which one of those years. We did an airport job, and you had to have a license to bid apparently, and we were only planning on getting our license if we got it, and so somebody turned us in. the person that was irritated that we bid because. So yeah,
it's funny how that works, huh?
We later sent them flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sent them flowers and said thank you for making sure we had our licensing correct.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
It doesn't help anything. I don't think it helps anything. If you really want protection, get a bond.
True.
If you really want protection on a project, get a bond. Get a bond and make sure you're named as additionally insured.
Very true.
That's how you protect people.
Right.
The little dirty secret of all these people is even when they're requiring people to get licenses, there's no teeth in it. Did they go yank my pool contractor's license when he did a terrible job and walked off? No,
I bet not.
No, they didn't. I'm still fighting. I won my case, and I'm still fighting to get paid. I won a $70,000 judgment.
Yeah. And it's the state of Florida, so.
And what I'm going to get is I'm going to get $50,000 out of the state of Florida's victim compensations fund in like 6 months when I provide all the documentation with all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Get a bond. What should be more commonplace is bonds on everything.
Right.
Bonds on residential projects. You should be able to go down and get a bond on a $6,000 tile job. That's what helps. Bonds help.
Yeah.
What do they require everybody to do for their cars? Insurance.
Yep.
It's just bonds or insurance for contractors. You don't need their insurance policy. You know what I found out?
What's that?
My insurance policy. I was going to try and collect on my pool contractor's insurance policy for doing defective work. You know what the bad thing was?
What's that?
Well, what if they're not licensed for the work they're doing, or they're not insured for the work they're doing? They can provide you a certificate of insurance. Are they really insured for that work? Maybe he's only insured for residential and he's working commercial.
Very true.
Fence contractors get into that same bind. They go and mess something up on a job and turn it into their insurance, and they're like, yeah, you were on a commercial job. Guess what? You're not insured. We don't insure commercial jobs. You said you were residential. Oh, you had your guy on a roof doing a roofing job just because you were a little bit slow? Guess what? You said you were a fence contractor. We don't cover roofing.
Right.
All those things.
Very true.
All those things can get you. So bonding and making sure that you've got the proper insurance in place is the best way to protect homeowners. Because the other thing I found out is like in St. Johns County, when the county goes and inspects, and then I can inspect behind them and prove that the county did a poor job of their inspection and that there's defects, the county says, yeah, we're not liable. I said, what are we paying you money for? Why are you in the process then? Why are you in the middle of this if you're providing no value?
Right.
Because you're not helping me, the homeowner, which is giving me a false sense of security because I think you're looking out for my best interest and you're not. And you're really not there helping the contractor because you're making him go through these things and pay money the whole way. So who are you helping?
Very true.
All this stuff is done to help the government. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the contractor. And it doesn't help the public. Licenses are stupid. That's my opinion. Next.
Next. All right. So, after all the dust has settled, since your live YouTube, Facebook, whatever it was on, I think it was on both, calling out the AFA, how is life been in your, I don't even want to say professional world, but like in that world for you?
Well, let me tell you exactly where it is. I have a brother that's very involved with the AFA. He really enjoys what he does, and I get that. I understand that he's trying to succeed there. I have a very differing opinion, but because I support my brother, I'm going to decline to comment.
Awesome. So next. All right. How do you feel about your kids being in the fence industry? Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I have 2 of the 3. Well, okay, no. No. We have 1 of the 3 that is absolutely enthralled in the fence industry and loves it. The middle son, if you watch my TikToks, you know that what he likes to do is collect just really strange things.
Yeah.
Very bizarre things. I think we're probably going to start talking about it a little bit more on my TikTok channel, just because
Okay.
it's so interesting and I'm learning things that even I didn't know.
And this is the
But he-
one that like fixes stuff too,
yes,
right?
he fixes stuff. And he
Okay.
can tell you
Okay.
about- he,
Just make sure I'm on the right one.
This is the one that would give any one of these gate techs, these so-called gate techs and stuff, a run for their money on how to run a multimeter. And he's 17 years old, and I guarantee you, he'll run a multimeter circles around you, and you'll be like, "That thing does that?"
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah. He
I got to
diagnosed
say,
it.
man, I love whenever he's on the like TikTok videos because it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. So, and then the youngest one is he's kind of like his older brother, but just different. He just doesn't like the fence business, and I'm not going to fault him for it. You know, I mean, you got to do what you love. That's a long life, and you got to live a long, happy life. And one of the things I'm really focused on is letting my kids know that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Be happy.
Right. Very true.
There's no sense in being angry and being mad all the time, and be happy. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. I don't know I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I have no idea.
Very
I
true.
hope to, but if I don't, man, I want to go out in style.
Very true. So, for those who didn't know, you went through a like spiritual journey in the past, what I think year, right?
So I went in February 2nd. You want to talk about that?
Kind of on like the brink of it. All right. So,
You let me know how far you want to go.
yeah. So, how are you feeling now to this day? I've watched a lot of your journey on social media, and it's been extremely like inspiring. Are you still keeping up with the same energy, I guess, that you first had whenever you came back?
Yeah, I guess overall, yes.
Yeah.
So I did that in February. I had my kind of awakening in February. I mean, maybe starting in December, but about 6 to 10 months ago. And since then, I've continued to work on that, but it's a journey for sure. It's
Right.
It's a lot of healing, and it's really just learning who I am.
Yep.
Who I am and who I really want to be, and I know how I've been. I can look back and see who I've been. Is that when I look back, am I happy about that? Not always. And what I want to do is I want to look forward and just be happy with what's forward and do the things that really. Well, you can see Fortnite right there above my head. That's really,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I've been kind of like catching
my
on.
wife's like, does anybody play Fortnite? Like, just chime in if you play Fortnite.
Yeah,
Maybe we can squat up because I freaking love it.
That's awesome, man. That's what I do whenever my wife's reading in the bed next to me. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play Fortnite for a little bit.
I don't know why this thing's usually it doesn't pick that up that bad. I'll maybe point it down just a little bit more.
It's your angles. When you scoop back in your chair like that, it picks up the background.
So yeah, it's been interesting. We don't have enough time, and
Right.
but yeah, it's been very good. It's really just helped me focus on who do I want to be, who I want to be, and what genuinely brings me happiness in life.
The growth has
Because
been huge.
I don't want to live. You realize I'm 48 years old, and they say at 50 years old you only have 26 years left to live. I mean, you only have a 30-year life left to live.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what they say. The average life is 76, and everybody's like, I'm gonna just coast along, and then at 65, I'm gonna do all the things that I want to do. You know what? What if you don't make it to 65? What if you make it to 65 in one day, and then all the things you were waiting to do, you didn't do? So this summer has been very busy, but I've done all the things I want to do. I've knocked so many things off my bucket list, and
Y'all have had fun, man.
I'm just gonna keep doing wild stuff. I don't care. I'm just gonna live me. That's it. I don't care what you think. I'm just here.
Awesome.
I'm going to do what makes me happy, because when I'm dead, you know how many of these people are going to be thinking about me? None of them.
Yeah.
They're going to think about me for about 3 hours on Facebook when everybody's like, oh, yeah, Mark Olsen, you hear that guy died? Everybody's like, yeah, he made some videos once. I hated him. I loved him. Whatever. And they're not gonna think anything of it. You know what I care about? Is I care about the memories I leave behind of the people that know me and cared about me. And I want to do stuff with those people. Those are the opinions I care about. I don't care about the people that just every once in a while watch the story and have an opinion about me. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
None of it matters. None of it.
Absolutely.
Don't even care.
Well, hey man, that brings us up. Like we are coming up on closing times. Like, you got any closing thoughts for anybody?
Yeah, live authentically. You know, I lived a lot of my life caring about what people thought.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that is a big realization. I cared about what people thought, but are they adding value into my life? No, they're not. The only person I care about what they think of me is genuinely my wife and my 3 boys. If those people like who I am, I genuinely do not give a flying monkey fart what you think. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know what? You can find out some scandalous thing about anybody. I don't care. You know, we're all worried about what if they found out XYZ? What if they found out Mark Olsen paints his toenails? I mean, I've been doing it for 10 years. It's not really a well-kept secret, but people look at me today like, oh my gosh, you know,
right.
Can you believe he does that? I don't care. I don't care what you think. Half the reason I do it is to get a reaction out of you.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, just live authentically and do the things you like and just be kind to people and be as kind as you can. But, you know, that's it. I'm just trying to live happy. I don't care.
Love it.
Don't care. I just want to be happy.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Happy life is a great thing to do.
Yep. And being with my wife and kids and stuff and watching them enjoy all this stuff, that brings me happiness.
There we go.
Watching sunsets and sunrises and sitting out under my white canopy in the summer and just doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
That brings me happiness. Just a gravel yard out here and I'm having so much fun. It's amazing.
That's awesome. All right, man. Well, tell everybody where they can find your YouTube videos at.
Oh, it's on YouTube. SWI Fence or I don't know, like SWI Fence.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mark, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to come on the show for an hour. I very much appreciate it, man. I hope to see you soon. And all that, man. I hope you've been doing good.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate you having me on here, and it's been good talking to you, Billy.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thank you so much. Once again, and you have a wonderful rest of your night. All right.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bud. All right, guys. Awesome show tonight. Got an awesome show lined up for you again next week. I got Mr. Steven Spence on the show again, returning. You guys loved the hell out of him last time, so we'll see what happens this time. But with that said, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. Go out there, be safe, kick some ass, put some fence in the ground, and collect some checks. We will see you here next week right on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night.